Previously on Beyond the Tracks. The Deltic was the star attraction as the Deltic Preservation Society visited for a special Members' Day, and Jubilee fever was in the air as there were parties and parrots on the platform. So join us once again as we go beyond the tracks in this special bumper edition as we're finally steaming into summer. It's the middle of June and the sun is definitely shining on the Ecclesbourne Valley Railway because it's the Mixed Traction Gala. The gala will feature steam, diesel and DMUs travelling up and down the 9 miles of track on the Ecclesbourne Valley. It's a big job to get all these trains in one place at one time, and nobody knows that more than organiser Aaron.
Chaos is the main word. Yeah, so it's been a bit of a stressful time planning this event with last minute changes, alterations that have come at the 11th hour. Not helping me starting a new job and it's better do that.
Yeah, if you say so. And as the day goes on, the temperature is rising with what promises to be a scorcher of a weekend. And it's all a bit too much for the steam crews as they're trying to find as much shade as possible. And the team can always make time for enjoying an ice cream or two. Right, that's enough sitting around. There's plenty of work to do, especially when you can be a driver for a fiver.
Should last us a little while.
The popular steam service is back, but what time were you up, chaps?
Well,
Started at 6:15,
yeah,
didn't we?
about 6:15, and we were on here
Quarter
9:45.
8:45,
Yeah.
so yeah,
So
everything went smoothly on it, no problems.
no hiccups, no problems. The engine was warmed. It warmed up yesterday. Me first came down in 2002. So on and off since then.
I've been continuous since 2010.
So I've had a few years off for business, but now I'm retired, back again, thoroughly enjoying it. Well, it's a way of pursuing your hobby, because for most of us it is a hobby. For some of us it's a career. I think at our age, Joe, it's just, memories of when we were kids.
And I think doing this sort of thing, driver for a fiver, is a good advert for the railway. And
Yeah.
you should meet the public and talk to them and tell them about the railway.
People actually, get on a footplate of albeit a small industrial engine. They may not have been on the footplate of a loco before. It's a good starter. It's a good tester. Might even get some volunteers, you never know.
Off you go, chaps. I think you're in for a very busy day. And as the platforms get busier, the sun is still beating down here at the Ecclesbourne Valley Railway. And it's important to stay hydrated, isn't it, Sam? Nice to see Mick and James hard at work, topping up the tan. Is that Maverick? Oh no, it's Will. And never mind Top Gun, it's Top Bun over in the station buffet. All in a day's work, eh, chaps?
Flogging ourselves to death, we are.
And of course, one of the main engines out today is Eric. This Western Region locomotive features a Paxman engine coupled to a hydraulic transmission. They were loosely based on the same chassis design as Pannier steam locomotives. Eric originally came as a visitor in 2017 to a diesel gala before returning to the East Lancs Railway. However, a deal was reached for it to be based here at the EVR, and it now operates passenger services at various times throughout the year. As one diesel leaves, another one returns. It's all go here today, and nobody knows that more than one of today's drivers, Jack.
A little bit tough at times, but we enjoyed ourselves. It was very nice to have all the windows and doors open and just have a nice breeze as we were going along. Lovely views on the line, as it always is, especially when it's sunny and a little bit of breeze. But we coped. The important thing is the catering staff always offer us free water, which is the best thing for us. For us, a Mixed Traction Gala is a great opportunity for the steam and the diesel crews to sort of do an event together. It's not often that we actually mingle, it's either diesel running or steam running, but an opportunity like this is really nice because it means we get to see each other on the line, especially passing a shuttle with the two train running. And it also means that we get to sort of get into a groove where we understand how each other operates, because as much as we are still operating on the same railway, the steam and the diesel, they operate a little bit differently, and it gives us a chance to harmonise.
And as the last train of the day pulls back into Worksworth Station, with the weather finally starting to cool, it's now time for the team to return home for a well-earned rest, ready to do it all again tomorrow. It's the final day of the Mixed Traction Gala, and the heavens have opened, but that's definitely not going to dampen Aaron's spirits.
Made one trip, it's gone very well. Everyone seems very happy, can't complain otherwise. Yeah, considering everything we've had to change at the last minute, could have gone better really. So, it can be a bit of a slippy start, a little bit of wheel spin, but nothing that we can't handle. But yeah, professionalism for the crews has been brilliant, all working together nice and efficiently, so yeah, again, can't complain.
It's more of the same again today, with diesel, steam, DMU and our popular driver for a fiver experience. But today, the Standard is the star of the show. And what better timing to get a private tour from Aaron.
Regulator, so this is like the throttle, so we pull this handle backwards and it emits steam to the cylinders, that's what makes us go. To go forward and backwards, we've got this wheel here, that's the reverser, so we unlock it. Wind it into forward gear as such. You look down here, we've got the scale here, so we've got the forward gear right down here. As we wind it backwards, we wind the gear into backwards or mid-gear, the engine's not going to go anywhere.
Thanks Aaron, but we better crack on. The DMU's just arrived at Worksworth Station. The DMU is the perfect way to see the Ecclesbourne Valley, with its vast windows all the way down the train.
We've got the brakes, so we've got the steam brake here, so that controls the brakes just on the locomotive. We've got the vacuum brake here, that controls the brakes on the whole length of the train. Down here we've got the cylinder drain taps, so these drain any water from the cylinders early in the morning and throughout the day. We've got the ejectors, so to create a brake we drain all the air out of the brake system to create a vacuum, so these open the ejectors to do that.
Yep. Thanks Aaron, but we've really got to crack on now.
Moving on, we've got this is the blower. So this creates an artificial draft in the fire to help stoke the fire, keep that going. We've got the sanders, they put the sand down on the track to stop us slipping hopefully. In here we've got the pull-out. Okay, that's deadened off at the moment, it's normally a lot hotter than that in there.
Look Aaron, I could listen to you talk about this all day, but it's time for the next departure. You need to get down to Duffield.
Your attention please, the train now arriving at platform number 2 will call the 120 departure for Duffield. This train will call out IJ, Shuttle and at platform number 2 for the 120 departure for Duffield.
The Standard will make its way up and down the valley a few more times throughout the day. And this is the perfect opportunity for the steam team to see the picturesque countryside of the Derbyshire Dales. The Standard will call at IJ, Shuttle and then move on to Duffield. Once arriving at Duffield, it will then perform a runaround and make its way back up the 9 miles of track towards Wordsworth. But it's all in a day's work for the steam team, as they're a well-trained bunch, and they enjoy what they do. And that's clear to see here today. The Mixed Traction Gala is the perfect chance for the railway to put on a show, by featuring many double-headed services, such as the Standard with the Class 47. This is for public enjoyment, and to recreate scenes of days gone by. And it truly is a wonderful sight to see. The Mixed Traction Gala has been a roaring success, and the team should be very proud of themselves indeed. It's Sunday the 3rd of July, and that means one thing: it's time for the bus rally. So let's get revved up, because the summer season has arrived. Buses from all around the country are arriving for a classic transport extravaganza here at Wirksworth Station. Today there's a mixture of vintage and modern buses just to mix in for good measure. There's one person who's definitely excited, and that's Lee Gratian.
Yeah, one of my favourite events.
And what is it that you like about the bus rally, Lee?
I don't know, it's just nice, isn't it? Getting the classic trains and the classic buses, a full array of vintage transport. It's nice.
There's even the Jubilee bus that's come all the way from Chesterfield, courtesy of Stagecoach. These buses and their drivers have given up their time today so that visitors can have a peek back of the transport of their childhood. But there's a lot to fit in today and logistics are tight, and that's where Pete and James
right
come
down the
in.
end.
Right down the end, yeah, possibly.
In like, with the same as the track. Like,
Yeah.
stacked up.
Yeah.
Could do it like that.
Yeah, you get them where you can. Yeah.
But it's whether we're blocking off cars doing that or not.
And with the buses now precisely squeezed in, we meet a new driver and the team from Hullies.
So today we've brought this lovely Enviro 200 behind us. We've brought it from Baslow in Derbyshire. We went via Chesterfield to pick up people. It's one of the buses that does the routes through Wirksworth, so I thought it'd be suitable to come to this rally. It's branded up for the 110, 111 route, which goes from Matlock to Ashbourne via Wirksworth, Carsington Water, all those places. So we brought it here. It's not a bad bus.
I've been driving since 1977 and had two spells working for Hullies of Baslow. The first spell was as traffic manager there in the 1980s, and so I retired last year. Last year was the 100th anniversary of the bus company, and they had a special celebration for that at Chatsworth House on the 26th of September, and that was my last day of work.
One of the main attractions today is local Derby Corporation Crossley, courtesy of Nick Harper from Harper's Coaches. And today we've even got a genuine vintage London route master. The Route Master is a great British icon, and when you think of a British bus, it's this. The Route Master was primarily used in London between the 50s and 60s. And speaking of the 50s and 60s, here's another great British mode of transport, it's the Standard. The event is timed today so that passengers can take the bus down to Duffield and then get the train back. They're getting the best of both worlds. As mentioned before, we've got a Crossley from the Derby Corporation, and it's a chance for us to catch up with owner Nick. Tell us about your beautiful bus.
The bus is a Crossley, built in 1952, Crossley chassis, a brush body. Brush body was built at Loughborough, and the actual chassis was built at Stockport in Manchester at the Crossley Works. It was Derby Corporation's preferred choice, the brush body work, although the Crossley chassis was rather unusual for Derby. They were having a job getting hold of Daimler vehicles, which were their preferred choice at the time, so they bought 5 Crossleys and 5 Fodens, almost as an experiment. The Crossley has a 7 litre, well, just over 7 litre engine, which makes it reasonably economical still. You still get about 12 miles to the gallon out of it. It worked in Derby
all through its life. It was never sold on to anywhere else. Worked all through its life in Derby from 1952 until 1970. In later years it was used on driver training duties, largely because it was manual transmission, so drivers who actually passed their test on a Crossley got a full licence for both automatic and manual vehicles. In later years, as well as doing driver training, it was largely used along with the other 4 just on work services and schools. I can remember going to the swimming baths on it on numerous occasions, and I also went to Derby School on the school bus on this vehicle. It was bought for preservation direct out of service in 1970 and spent the rest of its life then up at Manchester, ending up in the Tameside Transport Collection till 2008. And then in 2008 I bought it on the death of the chap Michael Howarth, who owned it at the time. I bought it, and that was the first time it came back to Derby.
A lot of these buses feature a Leyland engine, which is just like this Class 121 bubble car, which is proving popular, running alongside the Standard today. This pristine example is the only first generation DMU to still be mainline registered. It's proving popular today as the visitors enjoy comparing the 2 different modes of transport. And it's not long before a quick pit stop. The bubble car is away once again. It's now over to see the team from the Great Central Railway who are supporting us today with their gorgeous Midland Fox.
Well, interesting story. So this is originally a Southdown Bristol VR, introduced in 1980. So spent its life working on the south coast, around Brighton, Southsea, Portsmouth kind of area. Spent its entire life down there. We bought it when we got drunk one day on holiday and decided that it was a good idea to look on eBay and buy a bus. And we did, without anywhere to put one. Neither of us could drive one, and it was also on the Isle of Wight. So it's now painted in the glorious colour scheme of Midland Fox, which operated the Leicester County services after the end of Midland Red in the 1980s. And they had a few Bristol VRs for a few years. And as the bus lives in Leicestershire, we thought it was appropriate that the bus had a livery that was local to the area.
So we've been the owners of the bus now for nearly 5 years. And it's flown by. Well, yeah, it was a runner. It was a runner when we got it, but we've done a bit of work inside now. Obviously, we've had it repainted. We've had some body work done.
The bus rally has been a great event, and you always know that when the bus rally is here, so is the summer. Join us next time as Torquay comes to the tracks with a taste of Fawlty Towers, and it's the Hanging Gardens of Duffield. The Family Fun Tuesday service begins, so book your tickets now. And a special Class 73 visitor joins us just in time for the Summer Diesel Gala. Join us again as we go beyond the tracks.